This conference will now be recorded.
Sir, even though this is wrong, I think it's actually 4:30.
Up, it's 4:28.
Oh, that's
on my
4:28.
watch, and now it's in military time, and I don't know how to get it back to normal regular time.
My sister-in-law, she's blind, she has a talking watch, and every,
I did it.
oh, did you?
That was hard.
My
That
children
Oh,
think I'm an idiot.
anyway, every
There,
time
I tried it already.
I put my phone down and I look at it.
we go to the nursing home, she tells Jen, she says, you know, I was asleep last night, and somebody changed the time on my watch. Well, what happened to this guy? Well, it wasn't necessarily
You watch mine.
oh yeah, I collect them.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have two. Seiko only made two, and I have both of them. And now this is not a Seiko.
I had one when I was 6.
Oh, did you?
Did you watch it? Maybe, I think it was maybe Vinny.
Oh, many. Yeah, but they Seiko is.
Morning,
I
early
have.
afternoon, twice a day.
They come out 2 times.
Yep.
And
Shall we?
actually, I was trying to read an article. They've been trying to promote them, and they said that they're not going to make them for us.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go ahead and call the October 6th Executive Committee public hearing to order. First item on the agenda, Mr. Burns on the roll call, if you would, please.
Jackson Bogan,
Present?
Larry Leverance.
Here.
Jerry Reynolds.
Here.
Gary Schroeder.
Here.
Tom Murtaugh. Here. Greg Jones. Kathy Parker.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you, sir. Approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from the September 1st, 2021 meeting as submitted.
Second. Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries. New business.
If that's my case, I'm going to recuse myself. I'll be back.
Raintree.
Raintree Medical.
We need first a continuance, if you would.
I can do
He would
that.
actually, go ahead and we'll have somebody else, if you don't mind. We'll have somebody else do that.
We'll have somebody
continuance.
else continue it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and get a drink of water, sir.
So we're looking for a continuance of S5028 QT 7260 edition to the, will this be heard at the Area Plan Commission meeting? And the date on October 20th.
So moved.
A motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is continued to the 20th of October for the APC meeting. On to Raintree Medical.
I move we hear and authorize a belated primary approval extension request for Raintree Medical Park S-4096.
Second.
Mr. Hiddle, welcome.
Thank you. David Hiddle, Area Plan Commission, here with the request to authorize a belated 2-year primary approval extension. This involves the Raintree Medical Park, which is zoned MR for medical related. You're actually not voting tonight on the extension request itself. You're voting on whether or not to allow the extension to take place on October 20th at the APC. Staff size, there are no substantial improvements, or rather changes or amendments to the subdivision ordinance from the original approval of this plat till today, and so it remains, there's no problem if this were to be extended, you might say, and so we have no objection to it. You might want to touch base with the petitioner or his representative if you have questions about the reason for this request. It was originally approved in April of 2009. There was a final plat approved in 2018 for 2 lots, a final plat approved in 2019 for 4 lots. So there is activity on the site, but again, if there's specific questions as for the rationale for the request, you might want to ask those of the petitioner.
Thank you, but no objections from you.
No objection.
Thank you. Petitioner's representative wishing to speak on this?
Clem Coons here with T-Bird Design. I guess the petitioner decided to excuse himself, so I'll try to act like him. No comments to add in addition to what the staff had there. It is ongoing, continues to sell off lots. Maybe not as fast as originally hoped, but it is. And we apologize for missing the deadline back in, April? So I guess this is to request an extension to an extension. So.
Thank you very much, sir. Any questions from the commission members? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this petition? Hearing none, we have a yellow ballot for Raintree Medical Park. Thank you.
Yeah, I misunderstood the continuance. Which one is continued in here? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I conflated the two together. But he needed it all.
Mr. Bogan, 5 paper ballots cast, all in favor of the request to request an extension on October 20th.
Thank you. Can somebody let Gary, oh, I think he can see. Okay. Moving on to final detailed plans. Resolution PD 21-04.
I move to hear and approve PD 21-04 Concord Partners South LLC, Sagamore Winds PD.
All right. Okay, so this is in Lafayette's southeast side. You guys may remember this rezone immediately west of US 52 and south of Maple Point Drive. As you can see, the rezone area, it's a split zone property. The actual parcel being platted with this PD will have floodplain zoning with it. This is a unique situation with PDs where you can have FP zones along with the PD zone all in one lot. So the part that's out of the floodplain obviously is where the project's going, and so there's the site. They are also there's also a PDRS zoned easement area that will accommodate their driveway, and then a sign outlot for their monument sign out on Maple Point. So as you can see, the site's all cleared. Not too much clearing and grading to do for this project. And there should be lots of elbow room for them to do the construction. So Maple Point Drive likely won't be impacted during the construction phase, but we'll leave it on there. It's approximately 17 acres, 264 unit apartment complex with related landscaping and parking areas and amenity spaces. Final detailed plans consist of the construction plans and the final plat. Everything's in ship shape. We went through lots of variations of this before we finally got to the final version, but everything is consistent with the City Council's approval. Bonding has been requested. Hasn't been submitted yet, but they'll have 30 days from today to get that done and get the plans recorded, and once recorded and bonded, they can start building. So happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, we recommend approval of Resolution PD 2104.
Thank you, Ryan. Petitioner's representative?
Tyler Oaks, Paul Eggleston. Good afternoon. On behalf of Concord Partners South, through the developer who is essentially doing this, Brian Walker, we agree with everything staff said, and would respectfully request approval. I'm here to answer any questions if need be, and hopefully should have bonding submitted to you tomorrow morning. So take care of that nice and easy. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. Any questions from committee members? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this? With that, we have a yellow ballot.
We have 6 ballots with a vote of approval.
Thank you. Resolution PD 21-05.
I move to hear and approve Resolution PD 2105, Purdue Research Foundation, Providence PD.
Second.
All right, over to West Lafayette. This is the Providence Plan Development, multi-phase project that will probably take a good few years to finish out. But the construction plans that were approved and recorded and bonded for contain Phase 1 and Phase 2. This is the last segment of Phase 2. So it's a pretty small little area along Airport Road. If anyone's been by there, they've already seen what we've been platted there, and there's homes being built, the apartments are built, and I believe all occupied. So we're actually just talking about this little section right here. 2 apartment buildings, a new public street that has perpendicular parking right off of it, and then I believe they're also formally dedicating this entrance off of Harrison Extended. So, yeah, so here's a view of the plat that they're doing. So sort of the last little section, it's going to contain 2 mid-rise apartment buildings, very similar in scale to what's already there to the north of them, and then the associated parking lot behind them off this new public street, Village Way Lane. The project itself was approved for 550 residential units. We've been sort of keeping a running tally as units are being created, so we're essentially getting 48 more units out of this little segment. So we'll continue to do the math there until we get to the end. But in this section, the construction plans, again, were already approved and recorded, and a lot of this infrastructure has already been built. I believe, yeah, this particular section, I think there's still some bonding. Their bonding is being requested because there are some items that have yet to be installed, obviously the landscaping being the big one. So final detailed plans for this consists just of the final plat for Phase 2, Part 3, the final part. It meets all the conditions at this stage of the development. Again, bonding's being requested, and once that's in hand, I'm assuming it will be hopefully this week, but again, they'll have 30 days from today to do that. Then they can record and then get building. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, recommending approval of Resolution PD 2105.
Thank you, Ryan. Petitioner's representative? Yes, sir. If you'd come forward to the mic and name and address for the record, please. Just tell us how wonderful we are. That'll be
Yeah, right. Brad Davenport with Old Town Construction. We're just looking, like he said, we've already, the Phase 1, we're closing that out in the next couple weeks, and then getting ready to start the next phase if you guys approve. So
wonderful. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
Any questions from the commission or committee members? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this petition? We have a yellow ballot, Res PD 21-05. While we're waiting on this, and he's counting, when we're completing the next subdivision ballot, remember it is the second one. The top one has been continued, so we don't want to mark on the inappropriate document, please.
And we have 6 votes for approval of PD Resolution 2105.
Thank you. And S5028 has been continued, so S5030, Bluffs of Buck Creek 2. What's that? Oh, I do have to read a wonderful statement. My apologies. Wouldn't want you all to miss out on this. For those of you unfamiliar with our procedures, the Commission would like you to know the following. When we hear a request to subdivide land, we are only concerned as to whether the actual drawing showing the division into lots meets the technical requirements of our ordinance. The question of appropriateness has already been determined. Anyone wishing to make comments or provide us with the information regarding any subdivision petitions will be given the opportunity to do so. We are a 7-member body, and the majority of 7 is 4. Regardless of how many commissioners are actually present, at least 4 votes in favor or 4 votes against are required for action to be official. If fewer than 4 of us agree to either approve or disapprove an action, that case must be heard again next month. Our vote on a request to subdivide is final. When addressing the Commission, please state your name and address for the record. Please limit your statements to no more than 5 minutes, and we ask that you not repeat what others before you have already said. Cell phones must be turned off while in the meeting. If you need to make a call, please step out of the room before using your phone. All exhibits presented to the commission become the property of the commission. Thank you.
I move that there be incorporated into the public hearing portion of each application be heard this evening and become part of the evidence at such hearing, the Unified Zoning Ordinance, the Unified Subdivision Ordinance, the Comprehensive Plan, the bylaws of the Area Plan Commission, the application, and all documents filed therewith. The staff report and recommendations on the applications to be heard this evening and responses from checkpoint agencies.
Second.
We'll just need a vote on that.
All in favor?
Well, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion carries.
Right before that.
I think we go to
Now you go to
50.
I skipped a whole page. My apologies. Now we're on to S5030. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Thank you very
we're good.
much.
We're good.
Back on track. S5030 Bluffs of Buck Creek 2.
I move to hear and vote on S5030 Bluffs of Buck Creek 2 minor sketch.
Second.
Okay, petitioner's property is located on the north side of County Road 450 North, just north of the Hoosier Heartland, State Road 25. You can see the property is zoned agricultural. There's GB zoning adjacent to the east and RE rural estate adjacent to the west. Here's a look at the aerial photograph and a larger look. It's basically farmland right now. Here's a look at the property. There are 4 lots. All of them are, well, 3 of them are flag lots with 20-foot tails connecting them to County Road 450 North. Although they will not be using that as access, there will be a no vehicular access statement platted here along this frontage. All of the lots will be getting their access from this private drive that's part of the rural estate development to the west. I believe the petitioner has plans to do another rural estate north of where this road currently ends, but that hasn't been filed yet. I think that's about it. There are 7 conditions, all of them standard. We're recommending conditional primary approval.
So Kathy, just a quick question. So those are flag lots because the road is intended to be private? Meaning?
They're flag lots because minor subdivision lots have to have frontage on a county road.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if the road was not going to be private, if it was going to be built to be accepted, those would not be needed.
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Not at this time. Petitioner's representative?
Good afternoon, Bob Gross from R.W. Gross & Associates, 420 Columbia Street. The staff report is thorough, the conditions are fine, and the petitioner is here present if you've got any questions. Thank you.
Mr. Drupp. Any questions from the committee members? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this? With that, we have our subdivision ballot. Remember, we are on Bluffs of Buck Creek 2 is the subdivision name, and conditional approval.
No bonding.
No bonding because of the minor. I don't think you can request it.
We have 6 ballots in approval, conditional approval of S5030.
Thank you. All right, back on track here. Approval of the October APC public hearing agenda.
I move that the following subdivision be placed on the October 20th, 2021 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda at petitioner's request. Placement thereon being without without reference to compliance or noncompliance with the adopted subdivision ordinance. That'd be S 5036, Arbor Chase by the Lakes, Section 6, Phase 1, Major Preliminary, and S 5037, Park 350, Industrial Park, Minor Sketch.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
I move that the following rezoning petitions be placed on the October 20th, 2021 Area Plan Commission public hearing agenda. That'd be Z 2841 Brownstone Development LLC, Brownstone Condominiums PD, CB to PD CC.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That carries. Approval of the October ABZA public hearing agenda.
I move the following petition be placed on the October 27th, 2021 Area Board of Zoning Appeals public hearing agenda. BZA 2063 Reasons LLC and BZA, we have several there, BZA 2064 Mark Your Space, Michael Sobel, BZA 2065 Board of Commissioners of Tippecanoe County, and BZA 2066 Board of Commissioners of Tippecanoe County.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries.
I move the following special exception, BZA 2066 Board of Commissioners, Tippecanoe County, that this case will not adversely affect the comprehensive plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That carries. Determination of variances.
I move the following request for variance from Unified Zoning Ordinance as not a request for use variance prohibited from consideration by ordinance and statute. Case 2021-27, Michael Kitchell.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That carries. Review and approval of the September budget report.
I move we approve the September budget report as submitted.
Second.
Mr. Hiddle.
Thank you. I have nothing to add. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? The budget's up on the screen. Should anybody need it? Any questions? Mr. Hiddle at this time? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the approval of it? Aye. Opposed? That carries. We'll take that motion.
Hold on.
There's other business.
Where is it? Where am I? Other business? None.
We, real quick, we'd like to introduce and welcome Jennifer Ewan, who is our new meetings secretary and payroll clerk. So be nice to her.
Good to meet you. Welcome. Welcome. I made a good first impression, didn't I? Just skipped right over you.
You always do.
Welcome.
I'll report she's doing a fine job, too. So,
Excellent.
now you want the last one.
Yes, please.
I move we adjourn.
Recycle.
Yeah.
You turn those in.
Will do.
All right. That was